Okay, cool. We're gonna jump right into some cooking demos. I'm Katy, and I like kale, so this is like a perfect situation here for me. I used to not like kale because I didn't know how to prepare it. I thought that you just buy it from the store and like cut it up and eat it, and I didn't like it. So I'm gonna teach you one of my favorite ways to work with kale. I love to eat kale pretty much every week, and so what the method I'm going to show you today is rinsing it, drying it, massaging it, and then I like to keep it in like a clear plastic container in my fridge, and that way during the week I can kind of pull it out and add it to stir fries or kind of saute it or build really easy salad bowls and whatnot. Kale is such a really good superfood, and so incorporating it into your diet or your way of eating every week is so good. And so how can we make things as easy as we can for ourselves? So step one would be massage it, keep it in the fridge. So when you open the fridge, go for the kale. If it's there, it's easy, it's ready. And then another tip I would have for you is kind of pre-make your dressing. So the dressing I'm going to show you today, this is what we're serving, is going to have lemon juice, maple syrup, and some sesame oil in it. If you're oil-free, you definitely don't have to add the oil, and there's so many good, homemade dressings that you can make out there. But same thing, if it's ready, in your fridge, you have your prepped kale, you have your salad dressing, you mix them together, and there's lunch. Add some different ingredients. So where I'm starting with the kale today is I have already rinsed it, and then I just, when I'm at home, I rinse it real good, and then depending on how much time I want to spend on it, I can dry it off really good, or I find it's fine if it's still a little bit wet. It's not going to go bad in the fridge, and I usually keep it prepped for 3 or 4 days without it kind of wilting or anything. So I'll kind of pull off the little ends here, and then I like to just kind of pick it off. And the stems are going to be part of the kale that's really bitter, so you want to get rid of those. So I'm just going to do bite-sized pieces. You can cut it too if you want. I'm a super lazy cook, so whenever I can skip a step, I'm happy about that. So I'm just pulling it off there. Sometimes I will not pick it off really well, and I take a bite at dinner. It's like this giant, piece of kale. So the smaller, the better. Makes it a little bit easier. Another trick that I have too, if you want to get more kale but you don't want to massage it, you're too lazy. I get that. I like to just pick it off kind of rough pieces like this, throw it in my food processor with some hummus, and that's a really good, easy salad. You could do some red onion or tomatoes with it. Is a really good one too, but let your food processor do the work for you there. So you just kind of throw it in, add some hummus, and that's a really, really good, easy salad, whatever veggies you have on hand. Some recipes or methods will call for you to add some salt if you're used to having salt in your diet, add a little bit of salt to the kale if you want, or you can add a tiny bit of your favorite oil too. So once you have it in those bite-sized pieces, you're just going to take out all that aggression you might have, take that out on the kale. It's a pretty good workout for your forearms too. But this is going to help it. Did you see it when I had it not massaged? It took up the whole bowl, right? That's going to take you an hour to eat that. So when you're pre-massaging it, you're already starting to break it down a little bit, so it's just easier for your body to digest, and it's less work to chew too. And then it's gonna make it easier to eat, and yeah, I'm not sure if there's any actual benefits to massaging it. It's just easier to eat, less bulky. Yeah, you're just squeezing it, and it's kind of fun. It's a nice texture. It's complete opposite of working with bread dough or anything like that. And then you're going to get, I'll come and walk around here in just a sec, but you're going to get this really bright, beautiful, vibrant color, and that's how you know that you're done. But if you really don't want to spend a lot of time eating a salad, just keep massaging your kale. Be there for 3 to 5 minutes massaging your kale. But I'm a super lazy person, so I'm going to call that good. That was maybe 30, 45 seconds. And now the volume of my kale is about half of what it was. And again, you could keep going. So you just get this beautiful, vibrant green kale. So that's really all there is to it. It's just the methodology for massaging the kale is going to make it a lot easier to eat. And then from there, play around. Google some kale, different kale salad ideas or dressings or whatnot. And yeah. Any questions about kale? It stores really well, yeah. So I have these clear plastic containers that I like to keep in the fridge. Usually on Monday is kind of like my prep day, so I'll grab, maybe 2 or 3 bunches of kale, massage it really good, and like pack it down in those containers, and then, have some for salads throughout the week or whatever. But I found it keeps about 3 to 4 days. So, yeah.
So is the same nutritional benefit
I'm sure it would vary, a little bit. I know that like certain colors for different foods will provide, different antioxidants and nutrients and whatnot. I'm not sure, on the particulars. I do know that kale is like one of the top superfoods. So I think if you're eating kale, it's going to be good for you regardless of kind of the different variety. But
I found the purple and the red kale are not quite as bitter as the green, and I make a Christmas salad with the purple and pomegranate seeds and persimmons,
Sounds
and then
really good.
whatever kind of fruity dressing that you want.
I'd say if you like it and the family likes it and everybody's eating it, keep doing what's working.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Chef John is going to take it away.
Well, today my name is John. I'm going to be showing you guys how to do a curry. You may know how to do a curry, you may not know how to do a curry. But with some tricks about going to the store and buying things for a curry, these are my favorite brand to buy, curry paste. They are Maesri, M-A-E-S-R-I. And the reason why I like buying them is because they don't contain shrimp paste. Majority authentic curry paste will have shrimp paste in them. So if you are vegan or vegetarian and you can't have it, or you can't eat shellfish, you have to really look at your ingredients, especially if you go out and eat at a restaurant. A lot of the time, their curry will not tell you that they have shrimp paste in there. And so if you are vegetarian or vegan, you need to ask them, and they most likely do contain them. Yellow is very safe. Yellow does not contain shrimp paste for all of them. So I like buying this brand. Not all of them does not have shrimp paste. Some of them do contain shrimp paste, so do look at them when you buy them. And your 3 main one is your green, your yellow, and your red. And everything else is a derivative from all those 3. So like a Penang curry comes from your red, but they just add like kaffir lime into it. Like an ingredient would be different to make it more sour, more sweet, and things like that. But it comes from those 3. And coconut milk. So the coconut milk I like to buy this is one of the brand. There's a couple other brand that I do like to buy. And the reason why I like to buy them is because they have a perfect ratio of half milk and half cream. And the cream, it's fattier, and it carries your flavor throughout your whole entire dish. Same with oil. That's why when you saute your oil, you saute your garlic, your shallots, and your curry paste all in that fat. It's because it carries that throughout your whole flavor, including your soups. Any soups you make at home, chicken noodle or anything with a lentil soup, the oil is what carry all your flavor throughout your whole entire soup. So it's the same idea. So the first thing you do is just get in your oil into your pot, get in it hot. Best way to tell if your oil is ready, you will see your oil start to ripple. And that's when your oil is right there. So depending on how much stuff you throw in there, it might be too much or too little. You can use coconut oil. I have canola right now, but you can use any oil. You can use, do watch out for olive oil because they have a lower burning point and it can burn your oil. Coconut is pretty high. Coconut goes up to like 350. So you can buy coconut oil, it works too. Right now I added my garlic and my shallots just to get it into the oil. Are you guys ready for some curry? I am. I love food. I enjoy eating food. Get that saute here for a little bit. Green curry is my favorite out of all the curry. I just think it has the best flavor to me. You can try whichever flavor you like, but I do enjoy green. And sometimes I mix mine with like green and red, half and half. Then you would add your curry paste into your pot, into your oil. This is a full can. I put almost half, like a third of it in here per can that I do. Some people go up to as much as 1 and 1. If you go to like a restaurant, it's 1 and 1. And then they balance it out with fish sauce. They also balance it out with sugar to balance the flavor. But here, we're not using any sugar. I don't like the sweetness. We have enough sweet from your coconut milk already. I don't like adding sugar to my curry. Most places you go in town will add sugar. They cater to the demographic that likes it. And in town, almost every place has sugar in theirs. So we toast our curry in the oil. It gives it a different flavor. You get that toasty flavor from your curry. Once that's ready, here's the coconut. So when you buy a coconut milk and you're ready to cook a curry, do not shake your can. Let it sit out for a bit for the fat to sit on top in your curry. Don't shake it, and the reason why is because you're going to be scraping out some of that fat on top. Let all that flavor bloom with each other before you add the rest of your coconut milk. And then at this point, if you like more salty, you would add. So we have vegetarian fish sauce. It is not here right now. Now we'll go and run and grab it. But they sell vegetarian fish sauce that you can buy. Most Southeast cuisine, they use salt, but like with a lot of their soup and flavor, they use a lot of fish sauce to flavor it instead of salt. And you can find vegetarian fish sauce online. Amazon will have it. A lot of your Asian store now carries it. Once you get it up to a boil here, add the rest of your milk. And if you want, you can also add up to half of water into your pot if you don't want that richness of that curry, the coconut milk, because it's very rich. And then at this point, you would start to taste your curry. If you like it spicier, you would add pepper to it. Thai chili works. Chili flake works. If you like more sour, I would add kaffir lime to your pot. Lemongrass would give it more of that sour to your curry. Thank you. Vegetarian fish sauce. Then at this point, once the curry is ready, and it's up to where you like to your flavor profile, the best thing, the perfect trick to a curry is to take this off and chill it overnight. Let all your flavor bloom throughout the rest of your pot. You don't have to, but every Thai restaurant would do this. They would get a giant pot, they would chill it down, they'd stick it in the fridge, and then when you come to the restaurant and order, they would just scoop a giant ladle into a pot, bring it back to a boil, and add any veggies you like in there. So depending on what you order, a lot of time it's a green curry. We have bamboo shoots, we have bell peppers. A yellow curry we have potatoes, carrots. A red one will have bamboo sometime. The green one will have eggplant and things like that. It's just different, but it's whatever veggies you like. You could put anything in there. You could put cabbage, you could put kale if you want to in there, anything. It's a curry is just a base of your sauce, and your veggies, you could put anything, tofu, down to anything, mushrooms, down to whichever you like. And you cook it. So just know about your veggie, what cooks long and what. So if your potato is going to cook longer, you will have your potato blanch and put it in there. And cook your potato and your carrots a lot longer than you would throw your bell pepper and mushrooms, because they take like maybe a minute to cook your mushrooms and things like that at like boiling point. And that's it. That's the trick to making a curry. Anyone have any question about curry that they want to know?
I do. I love curry and I cook with it, but I don't understand what curry actually is.
Curry is actually just spices. So back in the spice route, back when they were having that spice route where India had traveled down to Southeast Asia, they brought their spices, and it's just a blend of curry. They had curry leaves and things like that, turmeric and things like that in their curry. And it's just a flavorful spice that they blend, that they put into their sauce and things like that. And so Southeast Asia, Thailand has taken their spice, yellow derived from India. Also, the red one is also from there. And then they took that spice and they mimic it and have made their green curry paste out of it with the green chilies, with their coriander and things like that from it. And that's where the green came from. And so that's where you see those three main curry everywhere you go. And then everything else just come from that. So in Laos, they like more sour and things like that in their dish. They would add kaffir lime and things like that into their curry.
If you can't have coconut, if you're allergic to coconut, is there another milk that you can make?
So I have family who can't have coconut, and if we have tried to do with alternative milk, so like there are like soy milk and things. It's really hard to mimic soy milk, but rice milk is a lot more bland. So you go with rice milk, you can add coconut extract into it, and then to go from there and flavor from there, and then thicken it with like a cornstarch slurry. And do you know what a cornstarch slurry is? It's just
Isn't it like water, just water?
yeah, just
and
water.
cornstarch?
Yeah, they do a slurry before they throw in the powder into the liquid, so it doesn't clump up.
Okay, so you could use rice milk.
Rice
and
milk. I've done a rice
cornstarch.
milk with a yellow curry for family
Okay.
before, and it's just flavor to how you like it. Kombu, it's a kelp. I like to throw that in there to give it more of that umami taste. Vegetarian fish sauce to just mimic it how you like. It's a lot of time it's what you like of your flavor profile.
Okay.
Like for my wife, she eats really spicy, and like I can't even eat it. I'll buy her ghost pepper and she'll eat it. She makes me look like a wimp.
Oh,
But she eats a lot. I eat a lot of pepper, but not like her. And then I like more salty. My wife hates salty. She hates sweet. I like more of the sweetness. She hates that. And so I would cook hers to more spicy because I'd rather not argue with my wife.
so the curry, does all the curry have turmeric in it? Or?
No, not all. Yellow will be the one that has turmeric. But does not mean that the rest does not contain. They might be a derivative from a yellow. So before you use any curry paste, I would just look at the ingredients.
Okay.
And it would tell you if it's turmeric or not. But yellow is the one that carries turmeric most of the time. And green is usually pretty safe, does not carry turmeric. And then the red is a hit and miss. Sometimes it does have turmeric.
Okay. And one more question.
Mm-hmm.
If you like it more sweet, you have honey or sugar.
Palm sugar works, maple syrup
Okay.
works.
Okay.
It's a sweetener. It's what you want to add in there.
Okay.
But I like palm sugar. I use palm sugar. But palm sugar you don't usually find that at grocery store. Most Asian store here in town now carries palm sugar.
Okay. Thank you.
So a stir fry.
John?
I was just going to say, if someone is trying to avoid, are you trying to avoid turmeric? Or, okay, so, all right. So, like, you just did a cooking class for us a month ago, and you talked about, like, we talked about the recipes that you can get online about how to make these curry pastes yourself.
Yes.
So, if someone wanted to, like, could they make it ahead of time, freeze it in like ice cube trays or whatever, and then just pull it out?
You may. There is a restaurant down in Walla Walla that I worked at. It's a huge Adventist community where they don't eat shrimp, unclean meat. And so we would make a paste because most pastes contain shrimp. So we would make a fresh one and then we would freeze them. And then when people come in and say, hey, can I order one without shrimp paste? We would take that out and make it for them. But yes, you can find these ingredients, recipe online, and you can blend it yourself. If you're talking authentic, I wouldn't use any cans at all. I would go up to a recipe, find them, ground them up in a motor pestle, grind them all up. You could use a blender, but I would use a motor pestle. It just brings the flavor out more. That's what my grandma says. Same thing. You don't argue with grandma. You just do it. And then so at that point, you would just omit the turmeric out of there. So stir fry. So the trick to a stir fry is not to crowd a pan whenever you stir fry. And with a lot of the time, when people cook at home, they get it too soggy, or it's because they crowd their pan, and all the veggies start to ooze a liquid, and then it gets into just ooze out, and it just gets really soggy. Mushroom is really bad to do because it's mostly water. So you want to pick veggies that is more crisp, like onions, bell pepper, broccoli, and things like that. And then a trick to a stir fry is to get it's the same thing. It's your oil, getting all your flavor into your oil before you stir fry it. Season as you go, depending on what you eat, right? If you want more of like a teriyaki that is sweet, you wouldn't want to be adding a ton of salt into your teriyaki. And a lot of the time that stir fry is stir fry almost naked, meaning there's no seasoning in it at all. And then at the end, they toss it with their sauce that is flavorful, and they toss it in there, and it's nice and crisp. And then they serve it right out. So same thing, get your pan hot, get your oil in there. And use whatever is available for you. If you have a stove at home with a flame stove, use it. Gas stove, electric, use it. When I do a stir fry at home, I like to use a wok. I go and get my own propane tank, go out to a garage, pull out my flame while I'm walking. I have one outside right now, and that's what we're going to be using, but for the meal tonight. But I like to use a wok with an open flame. It's because your flame can come all the way up to the side and get your whole entire pan hot. Me, I go get your pan up to almost too high, and then watch it because it will get really hot and quick. And then once your oil starts to ripple, you pour your oil, it starts to ripple. So get all your mise en place ready to go. Don't wait and chop in between. Have them all ready so you can get into stirring right away. So we are also doing a curry stir fry today. And it's just showing you different ways to use curry paste. And it's the same type of veg. You could use the same veg that goes into a curry, into a stir fry. At this point, you can add a little bit of salt, pepper. Your onions. I like my onions on more of a softer side. It's because if you get your onions sauteed down and sweat them out, they get sweeter as you cook your onions down. And if you like it more of the crisp side, you can also just not cook it all the way down. At this point, I would throw my broccoli in, my bell pepper. And it doesn't take long at all to do a stir fry. If you go to a restaurant, you see someone doing stir fry right in front of you, it's really quick. It happens in less than 5 minutes. So you get your vegetables down to your desired tenderness that you like. Broccoli, if you like it more on the softer side, you would add just a dash of like water in here or stock, veggie stock, and so it can steam that broccoli a little bit. But the further you cook your broccoli, the sulfur comes out and it smells. Have you guys ever steamed broccoli too long? Do you have that sulfur? It's because of that. If you don't hear that sizzle anymore, something's wrong. You would start to sweat out your veggies. And then at this point, you would just go ahead and add your sauce. This is just a curry and coconut. Get it all coated up, season. If you like more salt, add salt. And that's it. And you shut it off. And then by the time you serve it, go out to the table, that heat is going to continue to cook your veggie down. And if you wait until it's completely perfect to serve it, it will be soggy by the time your whole family sits down. And that's it. That's how you make a stir fry.
So the broccoli, did you chop it close to the size of the onions and the peppers that
Which one?
The broccoli, did you cut it really small?
I did.
Okay.
I did cook. So there's a lot of tricks to doing broccoli. You cut it very small so it cooks a lot faster. Or if you don't, then you add your broccoli first. Once you get to your almost desired tenderness, then you throw the rest of your bell pepper in and stir fry. Just knowing your veggies. Or you can also blanch it. If you wanted to quick dunk it and blanch it, it brings out your vibrant green color. It gets really bright. Restaurant, they do that all the time. So they just take that out very quick, throw it in there, stir fry very quick, get it warm. It's because the sauce that you throw in there is going to coat it and it's going to warm up your veggies anyways. So it won't take long at all.
Okay, thank you.
That's it. Any question?
So I'm pathetic at making stir fries, but I'm really pathetic if I'm trying to make one to serve our entire family because it's too much in one pot. So what do you do? Like, I know you've got 2 kids and brothers.
I have, at one point, I have like 9 people at home. And so you either get a really giant wok outside or you cook them in batches. So I would saute, get myself in my sauce, saute my onions, take my onions out. And then I'll do my bell pepper. It doesn't matter about bell pepper. I like the crunchiness of it, so I leave that out. Your broccoli, I would blanch it, or I would just do my broccoli in there. A lot of time I do my protein first, or if you do tofu, then I do tofu at the very end, because if you throw it in there before you do your stir fry, your tofu will be completely mush by the time you're done. Like, I just threw my tofu in at the last minute just to get it in here to warm up. But yes, you would put them all inside and then get your pan back up to hot, do your oil, your garlic, and your shallots, and then throw your veggie in there, and it's just a quick toss. They're still warm at that point. You're just tossing it, your sauce back in it, you toss it over, because it's nice and crisp, and then you serve it right away. Any question? Okay, that's it. Yes, you guys can come up and look at it if you want.
So why don't you guys go ahead and look at stuff that John has up there for a few minutes, and we're going to get the next presenter's computer connected. And but yeah, go ahead and look at stuff and take pictures if you want of the ingredients that he has.
This curry will go back into the giant pot that everyone will be eating out of. I got it at Best Asian Market. It is on Sprague, just right past downtown. And that one has it. Lang and Ping down at the Valley will also have it. I think the Korean store, Asian Market, now up on right where it starts to split to a one-way, they now carry it, I believe. The other Asian store right by the Best Asian Market also carries it.